Welcome to this explainer. I am so pumped you're joining us today because we're going to take some incredibly ancient somatic practices and translate them into structured, highly actionable knowledge about your body's energetic defense and exchange systems. We are literally diving into the deep architecture of human energy. Let's get right into it. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll briefly cover Wei Qi as the protective shield, the 5 major energy gates, Bai Hui for mental clarity, healing through the Lao Gong point, crucial protocols and practitioner safety, and finally, bridging the ancient with the modern. All right, jumping straight into section 1, Wei Qi, the protective shield. So Wei Qi isn't just some abstract philosophical concept. It's a dynamic, super fast-moving patrol force. It circulates right there between your skin and your muscles, and it actively controls the opening and closing of your pores. You know when you step outside, feel the cold, and instantly shiver? Or when you break a sudden sweat? That is your Wei Qi reacting in real time. It's your literal energetic armor. And this strong Wei Qi acts as an absolute shield against climactic factors that are constantly trying to breach our borders. But, okay, here is something completely crucial to understand. If your Wei Qi, your guardian Qi, is weak, your pores get way too loose. Not only can environmental pathogens like cold and dampness sneak in, but during interpersonal interactions, you can actually receive pathogens from someone else. No way around it. And the flip side is just as serious. If you haven't cleared out your own energetic or physical pathogens first, your compromised Wei Qi allows those pathogens to easily slip past your barrier and be sent right into someone else. Your shield literally has to be intact. Which perfectly brings us to section 2, the 5 major energy gates. So where exactly does our internal energy meet the external environment? It's a fascinating question, right? Because if Wei Qi is the structural wall of the castle, well, we need to know exactly where the drawbridges and the gates are located. That way, we can consciously control what goes in and what comes out. And that builds our energetic map. The importance of these 5 major energy gates for Qi exchange really can't be overstated. They are the primary hubs for absorbing and depositing energy. We've got the 2 Laogong points right in the palms of your hands, the 2 Yongquan points, also known as the bubbling springs, on the soles of your feet to ground us to the earth, and that single Beihui point sitting right at the very crown of your head. Now, what's really interesting here is how these gates actually physically map onto the body's meridian pathways. They aren't just random spots. They're the major terminals connecting our extremities straight into our internal organ systems, essentially acting as the primary exchange valves for our vital life force. Moving up to section 3, Bai Hui for mental clarity. Heaven, earth, and man are the 3 powers. Bai Hui is the human connection to heaven. Man, this classical description just beautifully captures why the Bai Hui point, often called the 100 convergences, is used to elevate consciousness. It's the highest physical point on the body, basically acting as a literal antenna that connects our internal ecosystem to the broader universe. And there's a huge connection between the Bai Hui point and mental clarity. By focusing energy right here, practitioners can clear out that heavy mental stagnation. Opening the Bai Hui gate allows all that excess, frantic energy to just vent out. It helps you achieve a profound state of mental clarity and spiritual calm. Think of it as an essential pressure relief valve for a busy mind. All right, let's head down from the crown to section 4, healing through the Lao Gong. So to really effectively use the Laogong point in your palm, you absolutely need the proper physical posture to open the gate, and that has to be paired with a strong internal battery down in your lower abdomen, the dantian. This is exactly how energy is generated and sent through the Laogong point. You can use it for self-healing or for healing others, and that works whether they're right next to you or literally at a distance. It's a real game changer. But remember, energy is never just pushed forcefully from the hands. Actually, scratch that. It's more like it's effortlessly guided by the mind. It flows from that Danjian battery, travels up the spine, down the arms, and streams right out through the Laogong. It's kind of like opening a nozzle on a water hose, letting the qi stream out naturally to clear blockages, either in yourself or in a patient. And get this, modern science is actually confirming the measurable physiological impact of activating this specific point. When we stimulate the Laogong, we see objective hard data reductions in cortisol and acute physical stress. Plus, it immediately enhances your parasympathetic nervous system, shifting you right into that restorative rest and digest state. Let's transition to section 5, protocols and practitioner safety. because this is vital. You can see a pretty stark contrast here. A grounded practitioner acts as a pure, clean conduit, but an ungrounded practitioner, they end up using their own vital essence. And if you do this, your Wei Qi shield just completely crashes. And like we talked about earlier, if your Wei Qi drops, you are completely wide open. You can actually absorb the sick pathogenic energy you're trying to clear from someone else. Or, even more dangerously, you can send your own uncleared pathogens directly out through the Logong, right past their weakened defenses and straight into them. Definitely not what we want. Because of these massive pathogen transfer risks, strict opening and closing protocols must absolutely always bookend a session. Before a session, you open to consciously connect and ground yourself safely. Then, and this is so crucial, after the session, you must execute a formal closing protocol. This seals your Laogong and Yangquan gates, reestablishes your Wei Qi shield, and makes 100% sure that no lingering energetic pathogens leak into or out of your system. And finally, Section 6, Bridging Ancient and Modern. This brings us to a really profound bridge in modern bioenergetics. We now know that our cellular mitochondria are literally light harvesting. They can capture subtle quantum energy fields to actually increase the production of ATP, which is our universal cellular energy. So when a grounded practitioner directs highly coherent qi out through their Laogong point, they are essentially projecting a bio-orthophotonic frequency. They are quite literally sending that energetic frequency through the Laogong to stimulate ATP production directly into the recipient's cells. How cool is that? As we wrap up this explainer, I want you to really sit with this thought. When the ancient practitioners mapped out the 5 gates and the Wei Qi shield, they were intuitively describing the exact bioorthophotic and quantum energy exchange mechanisms that our modern science is only just now beginning to measure. The power to heal, protect, and energize is quite literally resting right in the palms of your hands. So what are you going to do with that potential?